What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool Wolves post-match analysis video, and also this is the season review of the season that Liverpool had, their best season ever in their history, and also the third best points total in the history of English football since 1888. Yes, you heard it right. Since the 19th century, where football began in England, Liverpool racked up the third most points, only beaten by Manchester City, fueled by the Saudi Arabia oil money. So I think this is honestly such a special season for Liverpool, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm immensely proud of this Liverpool team, who in any other season, bar last season and this season, would have won the league title, and I'm just incredibly proud. But it was also the season of fine margins. If Sadio Mane's shot goes in the Man City game, which was like 1 centimeter from going over the line, then Liverpool win the league, because that game, if Liverpool win that game, Liverpool would have gone 10 points clear. But that shot didn't go over the line, and in the same game, Leroy Sané's shot goes into the back of the net, off the post. Sadio Mane's shot came back off the post, and that is just the finest of margins in this title race. But also Liverpool, 97 points. They have the fewest goals conceded, the most clean sheets. Alisson broke the record of Pepe Reina for having the most clean sheets in a season by a Liverpool goalkeeper, which is also a brilliant achievement. Also, Salah and Mane ended up as the joint top scorers in the Premier League alongside Aubameyang. And also an extraordinary season in the Premier League that 3 players ended up as the joint top scorers in the Premier League, which is also brilliant. And Liverpool haven't dropped points for 70 days. That's more than 2 months. And Liverpool haven't dropped points for 9 game weeks. We had 9 games winning run at the end of the season. And that wasn't enough, because Manchester City ended up winning their last 14 Premier League games. Absolutely incredible. It just blows my mind. I never thought that Liverpool would run this Man City team so close, because Man City spent £1.4 billion in the past 10 years. And yes, Liverpool also spent a lot of money in the past 2 seasons, but nowhere near the amount that Manchester City spent. And this is Manchester City's 4th league title. This is the first time in 10 years that a Premier League team retains the title. And it's a very worrying time, because if Man City can get away with breaking financial fair play rules, if Man City can get away with spending unlimited amounts of money, then honestly I can see a Premier League becoming just like Serie A, just like Bundesliga, just like the French League, where the richest team wins the league every year. I really hope that will not be the case. I really hope that Liverpool can challenge next season in the Premier League and win the title next season, because honestly this Liverpool team deserves to win the Premier League title. Manchester City have been lucky in some games. They got over the line against Burnley by literally like 3 centimeters. Manchester City's goal was over the line. Also against Tottenham, Man City, conceded 4 clear-cut chances to Tottenham, but they failed to take those 4 chances. Even if Tottenham just scored 1 of them, it could have been a draw. Against Leicester City, Kompany scores the goal of his life from like 35 yards. He never scored from open play. He never scored from outside the box for Manchester City, and then he pops up with a perfect goal. And I didn't expect this Brighton Man City game to do any surprises, but for just 80 seconds Liverpool fans could feel hope again, because Brighton went 1-0 up, and that was actually a time where I got very emotional. I was doing my Fanzone live reactions video that will be out later today, but you can probably see on my face that for just a split second I believed that Liverpool could do it, that Liverpool could actually win their first league title for 29 years, but it wasn't to be. And it wasn't because Liverpool. it was because Manchester City literally had the perfect season. Liverpool also had an almost perfect season, in my opinion. We couldn't have done much more in the last 2 months. And yes, you could argue that maybe against Leicester, against West Ham, against Manchester United, against Everton, we should have won those games. But honestly, this Liverpool team were on 75 points. We finished 25 points behind Manchester City last season. And this season, the difference was just 1 point. 1 single point. And Liverpool getting 97 points. If any Liverpool fans seriously criticize this team, have a word with yourself. At the beginning of the season, I honestly think most Liverpool fans would have been happy with an 85, 86, maybe 90 point season. But to get 97 points is a magnificent achievement, and anybody who doesn't recognize that is a fool, and anybody who says that this Liverpool team failed is a fool, because it's not a failure when you have an almost perfect season. Manchester City lost 4 games in the Premier League. Liverpool only lost 1. And that was, I told you how close it was. Liverpool got more points than the Arsenal Invincibles. Liverpool got 6 more points than the best Manchester United team under Sir Alex Ferguson. That's how good Liverpool have been. And yes, that 1 minute when Brighton went up 1-0, for a minute I considered believing that Liverpool could win that Premier League title. But even I admitted on camera that I won't get my hopes up, because I just expected Manchester City to come back, because they are just relentless. And also because Brighton are just not very good. Brighton got lucky because they collected 2 points in the past like 2 months of the Premier League season, and also they haven't won since March. So in any other season where Cardiff maybe got a couple of decisions, Cardiff could have easily stayed up. So that we required that Brighton team to get a result against Man City. I was just not having it. I was just not feeling like Brighton could do anything, even when they were 1-0 up. Manchester City quickly quashed those hopes, because they equalized 1 minute later, and just 8 or 9 minutes later they went on to score the lead. And I didn't think that Brighton could score 2 or 3 goals against the Manchester City team, which is almost as good as the Liverpool defense. I mean, the Man City defense, they conceded just a few more goals than Liverpool this season. And I think this Liverpool team can go on and become the greatest Liverpool side there has ever been, because I think Liverpool can win the Champions League this season. They will be favourites against Tottenham. And honestly, with how we played today and how we played in the past 2 months, I believe that Liverpool will win the Champions League. If we play like we should play, and if we put our 100% effort into that game, we should win this game, because it was just a magnificent Liverpool. For the past 2 months, they have been like remarkably good, honestly, even better than in the first half of the season. And Liverpool, after beating Barcelona 4-0, we beat Wolves 2-0 in a quite comfortable game. In the first half, Liverpool were much the better team. Sadio Mane scored a brilliant goal after a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross. And in the second half, Wolves came back into it. They hit the bar through Doherty, and they hit the bar with some other shots as well. But Mane scored another goal, and Mane scored now the most headers in the Premier League this season. And also Trent Alexander-Arnold, after getting 2 assists against Barcelona, Trent Alexander-Arnold gets 2 assists against Wolves as well. What a player. And Trent Alexander-Arnold broke another record. He got the most assists as a defender in the Premier League history, which is brilliant. I'm really happy with that. And also Salah and Mane getting the top scorer award is just magnificent. I'm not sure how they will share the trophy. They got their photos taken together on the page, but in the end Salah was holding the trophy. I'm not sure Mane is that bothered about that, but Salah winning back-to-back top scorer awards in the Premier League is also very impressive. I'm very happy for him. And now Liverpool have a good, like almost 3 weeks rest before the Champions League final. So let's hope that Firmino can come back and heal. And I was so happy to see Oxlade-Chamberlain getting some minutes in this game. Huge credit goes out to him as well, how he recovered from being almost 1 year out with injuries. But Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, the best fullbacks in the Premier League in my opinion. Van Dijk got the Player of the Year award and the Player of the Season award, voted by the journalists and the fans as well, voted for Van Dijk as being the best player in the league, which I'm very, very happy about. So yeah, let me know what is your verdict on the season, on the title race, on everything Liverpool concerned. And yes, you could say Liverpool still haven't won the title, but it was not because of Liverpool. It was because the authorities, the FA, FIFA, UEFA, are letting Manchester City get away with breaking the financial fair play rules. And it's so heartbreaking, so annoying to see that because Manchester City have unlimited amounts of money, they are allowed to buy basically a World 11 of their best players for each position and get away with it. Manchester City are a small club. They are honestly a small club who got a financial takeover on FIFA or something like that, because without money they would be nowhere, and they have no history. And yes, they are making history right now, winning 4 Premier League titles, but it's just, I know I sound bitter, I understand, but you have no idea how unjust it feels. Like Liverpool having their best ever season in their whole history. Liverpool are 18 times league champions. They are the second most successful club in England. And in all those seasons, even when Liverpool won the league, they were so much worse than this season. This season, Liverpool are much better than in any other season previously in their history. And that's still not good enough. Because of Manchester City. It's just heartbreaking. You don't understand what kind of emotion this is, honestly. Like, I've waited all my life to see Liverpool lift the Premier League trophy, and they should have lifted the Premier League trophy this season. In any other season, when Manchester City are not allowed to do this financial doping, they basically bought the league title. And everybody was saying that Manchester City were huge favourites at the beginning of the season to win the title. But at some point, Liverpool looked a better team, and Liverpool looked like they could win the title. And we were 7 points clear at one point of Manchester City. I think what cost us ultimately is injuries, because I remember when Manchester City lost to Newcastle and Liverpool had the chance to really hammer home the advantage and win against Leicester and then win against West Ham. We failed to win both games because we were decimated with injuries, especially defensively. I mean, Fabinho had to play at centre-back in quite a few games, and in the midfield we had so many injuries. If Oxlade-Chamberlain was fit for this season, I think Liverpool would have won the league title. But let's concentrate on Liverpool for a moment, because this is honestly the best Liverpool season that I've ever witnessed in terms of points won, goals scored. We have the best defense in the Premier League, the most clean sheets, the best goalkeeping performance. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.